Welcome to the weekly review for the Freedom Fantasy League. A month is now gone quicker than a song that sings your season's fate. When it plays, does it say, "Here comes the champ," or "Here's dismay"? Is it smiles or tears that it creates? All right, on to the scores for week 4.
All right, here's the week 4 update. Snake Eyes Poison Blitz 223.45 to 182.10. And another match where Blitz's team came to play, but was just unlucky to play against the team that scored the most points in the league this week. Snake Eyes benefited from jettisoning the Dallas Cowboys defense and picking up the Detroit Lions defense, who earned 36.70 points for a reptilian oculi. Sounds like a Harry Potter spell. Reptilian oculi. Yes.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This is the second week in a row where Blitz's team would have beaten multiple other teams in the league, but had to come across one of the few that he wouldn't. So I say to you once again, Blitz, chin up. And you got fucked, Cookie. It happens to the best of us. And apparently more to some than others. Keep strong, Blitz. You got a good team. It's just a matter of time. In a match that offended the fifth commandment, Opera's Orchestra extinguished Form Blazing Sword 190.95 to 165.15, handing his paterfamilias his second loss of this young season. A season that started off glorious has turned into a tale of woe, for Form Blazing Sword has lost another main piece of his team to injury. Last week it was Jalen Daniels. This week, Malika Neighbors. Yeah, let's add Bucky Irving in there now.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
It could be argued that if
Golly.
Neighbors would have scored like he's capable of doing, the outcome would have been different. But Opera's Orchestra is no longer the easy W that it looked like when it was when the season started. The team hasn't lost since making its trade to acquire Garrett Wilson, and is currently on the second game win streak as he pulled itself out of last place. It was a statement win by Opera's Orchestra, letting the league know that if you can still win, even when two of his starters combined for 8 points. Yeah, so just because you start weak and you don't expect it doesn't mean something else can't pick it up.
Yeah. It's something to consider.
It ain't over until it's over.
Yeah. Something to consider as bye weeks approach. Yes.
Speaking of tale of woe, the Doc 8 Mom Spaghetti 153.80 to 186.90, barely missing out on the blowout of the week. It feels like a year has passed since Mom Spaghetti's team was one to fear. Consensus first pick of the draft, Jamar Chase, looked like the 7-Eleven from the 90s, closing up shop and mysteriously disappearing, leaving Mom Spaghetti looking at this season with a big gulp, and her star running back, Darren Henry, nicknamed the Yeti, has gone into hibernation, only scoring 8.8 points. But hey, at least he didn't fumble this game. That's good. But just as quick as she scored the least amount of points in the league this week, it's a funny game that we play, and it wouldn't be that surprising to see her back in full flavor next week. The Doc just continued to dominate the league, staying on top with a win. He's making good decisions, and it seems that nothing can stop him, like he's rolling down a hill. Like downhill.
Yeah.
Like heel is down. We will see. This leads us to
the match of
the week.
All right. Once again, Shake and Bake is involved in the match of the week, but will we have the same results? Let's find out. Shake and Bake started off strong, dominating Oh My Gato in the Thursday night game when previously labeled a bust. Marvin Harrison Jr. went off for 20.10 points, and went from looking lost in the first half to it looking absolutely dominating in the second. I've said it once before and I'll say it again. Never underestimate the power of Capri Sun and orange slices. Oh My Gato had the cornerstone of his wide receiving core also going in that game, Jackson Smith and Jigba, but the normally high-scoring player fell a little flat with 15 points and was well under his projected points. In the early Sunday games, the slaughter continued as Shake and Bake's amazing stack of Baker Mayfield and Emeka Buka combined to score almost 89 points. And once you add woman beater Quinshon Judkins' 26 points, and it looks like that this was going to be an easy Sunday stroll to the finish line for Shake and Bake. However, Oh My Gato wasn't going quietly into the night as his running backs decided to show up. Bijan Robinson did Bijan things, adding 26.60 points to the fight, and previous disappointment, Ashton Jeanty broke out with an amazing 53.50 points. And it looks like that new backfield stance of his, labeled the Jason Voorhees, is about to turn every Sunday into Friday the 13th. It also helped that Houston, Texas defense were playing a rivalry game at home against the completely lost and now ironically named Tennessee Titans and performed well over their projected points. All of this made the match interesting, and as exciting as it was for Oh My Gato, it was just mildly amusing to Shake and Bake, as he had Josh Jacobs look at this performance and say, "Hold my beer," and explode for 36.20 points of his own in the now historic 40-40 tie game between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys, giving Shake and Bake a comfortable lead of 217.95 to 174.30 heading into the Monday night game. Having only Bo Nix left to go for Oh My Gato, it looked like the only thing that was left was just to see if Bo Nix could score enough points to keep Oh My Gato out of last place after he would be handed his second loss of the season. But in fantasy football, there is always hope, especially when the final game is being played in God's country, and Monday night provided a lot of excitement. The game started off slow at first, but then kicked into high gear as Bo Nix ran in the first touchdown of the night from 10 yards out. The projected points rose, but not enough to really threaten Shake and Bake's 43.65 point lead. As the game progressed, a touchdown was thrown by Bo Nix, making things a little more interesting. As the second half started, there were more runs since, at this point, Denver's opposition, the Cincinnati Bengals, couldn't find the end zone. As it looked like the Denver's offense was going to stay conservative, a long pass for a touchdown to Courtland Sutton shot Bo Nix score up, and now was only 5 points away from pushing Oh My Gato into the lead. However, in the fourth quarter, the Broncos decided that 21 points was enough to beat the benign Bengals and were content at giving the ball to their running backs to finish the game. This was the process until a third down with less than 8 minutes left in the game forced the Broncos to pass for a first down, which they did and they completed. However, it wasn't enough, and the score now was 217.95 to 215.5. Yeah, the clock seemed to be on major amounts of caffeine as 8 minutes quickly turned to 3 in what seemed a matter of seconds as the Broncos just kept handing the ball off over and over and over again to salt the game away, looking like Oh My Gato was going to get just within reach of Shake and Bake, but not able to overtake him. Run, run, run was the order of the day until third and long and the red zone came up. But come on. I mean, it was obvious what the play would be, right? I'm going to run to the middle, followed by a field goal, game over, right? That's what we're looking at. However, the head coach, Sean Payton, had more than just Werther's caramel hard candy in his pocket. He had a surprise play. As a third down was snapped, Nix faked to R.J. Harvey, then threw a little bloop pass to Harvey, which he ran in for a touchdown, putting Oh My Gato up 223.60 to 217.95. After the Broncos got the ball back, 3 quick kneel downs later brought the score to its final conclusion, 223.30 to 217.95. And Bo Nix, with a lot of help from the blessings of God, was able to complete the come from behind win, with the 5.35 points being the smallest margin of victory of the week. Now, I'll admit, it's impossible for me not to give the glory to God, and that's exactly where I give all the glory of this win to. Yeah, I definitely do. All that glory goes to God. Now, however, it did help that on Sunday morning, Shake and Bake did replace DeAndre Swift with Brian Thomas Jr., who earned 6.4 more points than Thomas. And since I won by 5.35 points, and he would have had 6.4 points more. Yeah.
Do the math.
Yeah. Next up, Oh My Gato will need the full grace of God to even compete against the now surging Opera's orchestra with Bijan Robinson on bye. And Shake and Bake will set his sights on dethroning the defending champion and current ruler of the league, the Doc. Yeah, so that was the match of the week. Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Match of the week.
Yeah.
Always a great game.
Yeah, but I did go through that. I was just grateful, man. I was grateful that I had like 174 points. I was grateful that I had 215 points. I mean, dude, you can't get mad. I mean, I know that if I ended up losing, it would stink. But yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you scored 200 points, you figured you win.
Yeah.
Not always.
You would think so.
Not always.
Yeah. So anyway. All right. Yeah. Got some dogs going on. Man. Yeah.
Stupid dogs. I hate dogs.
Yeah. Dags?
I got so many of them.
You don't like Dags?
I don't like my dogs no more.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-mm. All right.
That's because everybody loves dogs. That's when no one likes them.
I like Dags. I just like caravans.
Them, but we don't like them.
Yeah. All right, bro. Okay, let's move on to
They're howling now. Unbelievable. Okay, the
blowout of the week.
Yes. Unbelievable. Blowout of the week this week was destined to be recognized one way or another, since AI and its insane calculations deemed this match the match of the week. You may have seen that in the app. Yes. Maybe we're not Terminator 2 level artificial intelligence just yet, as Cheez-It gets the blowout of the week over Blue Hair White Dragon, 218.25 to 169. The 49.25 point margin being the largest margin of the week. It was a tough road to hoe for Blue Hair White Dragon, as only 3 of her 9 starters scored either at or above their projected points. Now, the 169 she scored was very respectable, as she would have beaten 2 other teams in the league. But Cheez-It's team was simply on fire. In fuego. Yeah. She had 2 of her starters not only meet the projected points, but double them. How about that? George Pickens poured in 41.90 points, and her defense earned 39 points of its own. There's an art form to streaming defenses, and Cheez-It should teach the master class, as we are all a month in, and she has picked all the right defenses to stream. This whole new style of play for the league that we're witnessing, it's a whole new style for the league that we're witnessing, and it's working. Yeah, that's something that hasn't been done before, so good job on that.
Yeah, not in this league. No, it's been done before, but not here.
Not here. Next up for Blue Hair White Dragon is a date with last place Blitz, who not only has fixed his running back problem with the pickup of Woody Marks, but also had one of his wide receivers, Jalen Waddle, turn into a wide receiver 1, as Tyreek Hill looks to be done, not only for now, but for a career.
Yeah, his foot. It's going the wrong way. It was going the wrong way. It's like a broken action figure.
It's a flipper. Yeah. A broken action figure. Damn it.
Yeah.
With mustard glue. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the mustard glue. Considering that he has the same record as the 8th and 9th place teams, his time at being at the bottom might come to an end. Yeah, a loss or a win at this point can make big drastic moves.
Yeah.
In the standings.
It's way too early to say anybody's season is over right now.
No,
anybody.
No, it's just where you're at right now.
And like I said before, like I started off my first championship that I won, I was 0-3. And then I ran the team into the championship into a trophy. So yeah,
so man. It can't happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't happen. Cheez-It will look to extend her league-leading 3-game win streak as she takes on the wounded but now angry Bomb Spaghetti. Yes. So that's it for the blowout of the week. Now let's open our segment that we call Master Debate.
Master Debate, yeah. So, all right. So, throughout the course of the season, there will be suggested rule changes that are made to me from the players in our league. And the co-commissioner and I think that it would be healthy for the league for us to bring it up in the weekly review and then have a vote in the league chat on if the change should be discussed at next week's manager meeting. Now, we did one already.
Next year's manager meeting.
Yeah, next season's manager meeting. Yeah, so this is not really too much of a new concept for us. We did that on week 1, and so everybody vote, or the majority of the people voted. Not everybody did, so make sure and vote, everybody. Yeah, but keep in mind that this is a league vote situation, so the majority rules. So if there is a tie, then there won't be a rule change proposal for next year. So please make your thoughts heard in the Freedom Fantasy Football League group text. Voting will end with the first kickoff of the following Sunday's game. Now, again, like Steve was talking about, that this is just for us to discuss or to decide if we should even discuss it next at the next managers meeting. This is not a rule change vote. That will come at the next managers meeting. This vote is to decide if we should not even waste our time with it. All right, because everybody's time is valuable, and so we don't want to waste any time. All right, so this week, all right, the proposal that was brought up to me was we are going to discuss, and you guys are going to vote on, we're all going to vote on, if our league, as you know, our league has one keeper right now, right? We have one keeper that we go in. You know how that works. We all went through it. It's been proposed that there's a very, very large majority of leagues that are keeper leagues that actually have 2 keepers. So it's been proposed that instead of just having one, she would move from a 1-keeper league to a 2-keeper league. All right, so that's what we're going to be debating now. So, bro, you go ahead and what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I say we stay where we're at with 1. We have 1 keeper that's good enough. We some of us have a hard time just figuring out which player that needs to be.
Yeah.
I like having 1 keeper going into a redraft league because at least you know you have 1 anchor player that you can count on. It also, when you go into the league, drafting is one of the things that we enjoy doing from time to time and from year to year. And the more players you keep on your roster, the less fun you'll have in actually drafting your players. Plus, and whenever you keep 2 players on a team in your league, you can create what I like to call juggernaut teams that become like this unbeatable combo that you have a hard time playing against. And at least you know at the end of the year that combo will get broke up by at least 1, and somebody else might have a chance to pick up that other player. Also, it's nice to have certain players on your team this year, but you'd like to have other players on your team next year. And if you double the amount of keepers, of course, they're going to be all the great players, and you'll have less opportunity to do that. So I think it limits the amount of players you can have on your team. It can create a juggernaut that's hard to beat to the point where we might just be playing for 2nd to 10th place. And you also, I think, will diminish your draft the next year. So I think we just keep it like it is. I think it's fun the way it is, and I think most of us would enjoy that, just keeping it as it is.
Okay. All right. My thoughts, I'm on the opposite side. All right, I'm intrigued by this. All right, because of course, I listen to a lot of fantasy football podcasts, and so whenever I hear about keeper leagues, they're always saying, my two keepers are this, or some of them even have three keepers. And before the recording, I just did a quick scan through the league, and I think everybody has two players that they'd want to keep. That they would help keep to go ahead and form a nice base of for their team. It would be really exciting in order to have two players. So I know that there was a lot of like everybody had that Finkel Einhorn decision when trying to figure out which guy you're going to keep this year, and this way it makes it a little bit easier. Now I do know that it does start off where our draft would then, if that happened, if it went through, in effect, our draft would start on the third round. But I will tell you that if you look at the teams now and you look at the high producing teams, those first and second round picks, like for redraft, the first round, second round picks, most of them are butts. There's a lot of value that's in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth round and things like that. So it's not really going to diminish things too much. And you'd be able to have two players that are going to be solid and rock solid. One of the things that I would point out is that there's two teams in our league. One, their keeper got diminished because of the star quarterback going down, and the other one literally got hurt and is gone for the season. Okay, so if you have two of them, that would lessen the chance of your keeper being taken away from you. So that's where I stand on that. So let us know what you think. If you think that you would like to do that. If there's we're happy. We're staying with one keeper either which way. One we're always going to have one keeper from this until till whatever till the end of time. But this is to see if we're going to have two. So yeah, I'm going to put out in the group text whenever I let everybody know that the week 4 is up. Then I'll also say, remember, then I'll put a reminder saying that the master debate subject is open for voting. And so make sure and give your thoughts, give your vote. And also, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So don't just, I would encourage you not to just say no or say yes, but say no because or yes because it's a discussion. I'd like to hear it. Remember, majority rules. So if the majority says that, that they don't want to consider it, it's not even going to be on the docket to consider for next year's managers meeting. But if the majority says yes, then we'll put it
We'll
on the
discuss
docket.
it and vote it more then. Yeah.
Right, to discuss and vote at the managers meeting for next season. All right, so there we go. I rest my case.
Yeah. So make your decision. Keep it like it is, or think about, is it worth having a second keeper,
Mm-hmm.
and completely make it a different game out of what we're doing. So just tell us what you think. Remember, it's not going to go like into effect. It's just for discussion for the next managers meeting before next season starts. Excuse me a minute. God dang, got froggy. So that ends the master debate. So let us know what you think. Before we end the review, we'll go and highlight a few embarrassing moments that our managers made in a segment we like to call Oops, I Shit My Pants. Everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
At what's becoming a common theme in this segment, Blue Hair White Dragon was dropping bombs when she started Chuba Hubbard over Drake London in the flex, as London scored almost 3 times higher than Hubbard. Here comes the thunder. A blazing sword was more than what he was forming when Form Blazing Sword started Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt over RJ Harbing, who scored well over twice as high as Bill Krosky. By the way, Bill Krosky can strangle you with a cordless phone and can also make your team make this noise. Another mainstay of this segment. So, can someone please put the Tupperware back in the fridge? That smell from the kitchen came back when Mom Spaghetti started Jamar Chase over Khalil Shakir, who scored over 4 times higher than Jamar. That is what we heard. This is what we heard whenever you burped that Tupperware. I don't know how we would have survived if we grew up eating mom's spaghetti, since she gets another one for starting Derrick Henry over Travis Etienne Jr., who scored almost 30 points more than Henry.
Mm.
This is what you'll hear when you ingest the tainted noodles. All right. All right, that's it. That's all for that. And that ends the week 4 review.
Yeah. So before we do that, before we end the review, I just want to make sure that winter is coming, or has come. Yeah, it has come. The bye weeks are here, everybody. So this week on bye are the Atlanta Falcons, the Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Packers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So plan accordingly. Yeah, you don't want to end up on oops, I shit my pants because you didn't pay attention. All right.
Watching.
Yeah, always watching. Not scared, always watching. Yeah, all right. So with that, congratulations to the winners, constellations to the losers, and see you guys and gals next week.
Yes, until next week, stay strong, be of good courage, and long live the Republic.
Thank you guys so much for playing.